Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Kimball, and I am here to talk to you today about my farm and our partnership with a local daycare for our CSA program. Sorry, I'm not with you there in person, so I hope this presentation is helpful. So a little background about my farm. So I own Sunset Farm with my husband, Lawrence. We are a small, we grow about on an acre or less, no-till vegetable farm located in Naugatuck, Connecticut. We are in our fourth season this year. We started our farm in 2019, so we're very excited for a good year. We're first generation farmers, so we do not come from farming backgrounds ourselves. During the season, we attend 3 local farmers markets, one in Trumbull, one in Naugatuck, and then one in Stamford. We run a 50-person CSA, which I'm going to talk to you about today, and we sell to local restaurants and to a local grocery store in Woodbury. This is at one of our farmers markets in Naugatuck last year. So I'm here to talk to you about our CSA and what that looks like when we partner with a local daycare. So first of all, if you're not familiar, so CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And what that means is farms need most of their money and most of their funding in the off season. So in the winter and in the early spring, that's when you need to purchase soil. That's when you need to purchase seeds and other important things. And typically you don't have a lot of production happening at that time, and funds, can be low. So the way CSA works is you, the customer, will purchase a share in the farm. So you will pay the farmer an amount. We offer 2 share sizes, a smaller size, which is a box of weekly vegetables meant for a 1 to 2 people or a very small family. And then we offer a larger share size, so a box of vegetables that would be for a family of 3 to 5 or someone, 1 to 2 people that eat a lot of vegetables. And you would pay your money to the farmer now. So in the, winter, early spring, the farmer would use that money to buy what they need for the year. And then you would come once a week to the farm during the growing season and you would pick up a box of vegetables. So this would be a box from the larger size. This looks like it's from like early fall, so probably early September. And you can see that there are, the larger size, it's typically 8 to 10 items. And so we have a pint of cherry tomatoes, a slicing tomato, 2 zucchini, a delicata squash, a small container of microgreens, an eggplant, a head of garlic, a pint of paste tomatoes, a sweet pepper, and then a pint of husk cherries. So this will be a larger size that you would come and pick up, once a week. Every farm does their CSA a little differently. We select the items every week for the customers. Some farms, you customize the items. It really depends. So we, as the farmers, we choose what's in the share each week based on what's available. This is a smaller share size from the early spring. So we have a bag of arugula, a bag of mixed greens, scallions, radishes, and then we were able to offer eggs this week. We do have chickens, and some people do elect to add that on, for an extra fee. So every farm is different with how they do it, but this is how we offer our CSA. It is a commitment. Every farm, the length of their CSA is different. Ours this year is 18 weeks. So for 18 weeks, you would come once a week to pick up, your box of vegetables. So we're very happy that we have partnered with the Naugatuck Daycare for the 4th year in a row. They signed up for our CSA. They purchased a larger share for the 4th year. So we're so happy to have them and retain them as a customer. The chef at the daycare, Cindy, I think you'll be hearing from her. She incorporates our vegetables into their other, weekly grocery that they have, and she makes really delicious and healthy meals with our food. Someone from the daycare does come to pick up the vegetables from our farm, which is very helpful, and we try to give, the daycare extra produce when we have it. There are a lot of benefits, of a daycare or an early childhood education center joining a CSA. So the most obvious one is that you're getting, the freshest, healthiest produce that you can right to children. vegetables that you purchase at the grocery store or that, you're buying wholesale. They've traveled thousands of miles, hundreds of miles. They were harvested, probably a week ago. A lot of times with our CSA, we harvest, for the CSA box that morning. So it could go, from being in the ground to being on your plate, at your table in just a couple of hours. So that's just super important, for a healthy lifestyle. It's a great way, the CSA is a great way to educate the children in your programs about farms and about growing food. COVID has kind of disrupted a lot of things, so I have not done a lot of, outreach with the daycare specifically. This is an event from a local elementary school from 3 years ago. Where I went and I spoke to the children about our farm, and then I offered samples of vegetables that we have. Again, this is another thing that could happen at your daycare or your center. That would just be a great way to connect children, get them to start thinking about where their food comes from. I do know that I believe at the Naugatuck Daycare, they do have a small garden. So it's helpful to make the connection between the garden, and farmer Kaitlyn that brings the vegetables. It's a great way to partner with another local business and just support the local economy. And we do also include recipes, and we give tips on how to prepare and store the produce. I know a lot of other CSAs do this as well, so it just makes it more helpful and kind of less intimidating if you get a new vegetable. Lastly, there are some challenges potentially that can arise with a daycare or a center joining a CSA. I think the most obvious one would be that, the larger share size that we offer is meant for a small family. And if you're talking about a daycare, with 20, 30, 40 children, it's, the CSA is just going to act as a supplement to your weekly grocery, bill. It's not going to cover your entire grocery needs for the week. So that could, just potentially be challenging budget-wise or meal planning-wise. You don't necessarily know what you're going to get for the week. And I'm sure, daycare chefs are very organized and are planned out, in advance. A lot of vegetables may not be, very palatable for young children. So in the spring, in the fall, it's very greens heavy, given the temperature and the frost in Connecticut. There's a lot of radishes, a lot of other root vegetables, turnips, and that might not be something that young children are interested in eating. It is hard to customize the box some weeks. We try to work with the daycare. We know that obviously spicy greens are not something that are going to work for the children, but we may not always have something to sub out for that item. So we want the daycare to feel like they're getting their money's worth, but it can be challenging at times, to not offer some things, but offer extras of others. It could be challenging to figure out your delivery or pickup logistics, depending on your, pickup time. Someone from the daycare may not be available to, or maybe they will, but just figuring that out. And then also just the funding for purchasing a share. A CSA price reflects, the value of the product you're getting. So just discussing with your business how you would fund that. I believe Shannon is going to discuss, means that there may be to help connect you with the CSA. So that would be great. So I hope this presentation helped answer some of your questions, and I'm always available if you have more. I look forward to hearing from some of you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.